Oh my god, he's so good! Cool!
Like a lot of kids rooted deep in the Nintendo hive mind at the time, this Super Smash Bros. Brawl trailer was my introduction to the legendary mercenary, Solid Snake.
It's me.
And instantly, you just have to be drawn to the man's charisma. He's got the build of an 80s action hero, highly intentionally,
Tasty.
but the wit of a more grizzled, less romanticized protag, mixed in with the assurance that he is a master of stealth to make for a character as rad as he is cerebral. Snake was a highly nuanced creation for his time, who managed to stand out as unique amongst a sea of cool shooty bangmen, and there certainly wasn't anyone in Nintendo's pantheon who matched his exact appeal. At least not since they handed Joanna Dark her pink slip.
Good night, Miss Dark.
As a member of the Smash Bros. Roster, Snake felt special, felt exciting, felt like there was no one else who could possibly be like him. And many felt that he didn't quite nail his landing.
What's that supposed to mean?
Snake has a tremendous amount of explosives for a stealth character. Devices traditionally not known for being sneaky or subtly diverting attention. His kit also lacks any real stealth options, despite invisibility and sneaky moves existing in Smash. He's got a frame 1 option in his grenade that lets him escape encounters, eliminating much punishment if he gets caught like you'd expect from a stealth game. He lacks any sort of guns to pick out enemies from afar, so he's got a lot of but got no. If representing the stealth genre was Snake's goal, he falls completely flat.
I was just asking. Sheesh.
Thing about that though? That's not at all what he's going for.
Not even close.
Snake is one of the best, most reverently designed characters that Smash Bros. Has ever had. Not only does he excellently reflect the gameplay of the Metal Gear series, not only is he instantly appealing in a way that not a lot of Smash Bros. Characters are, but he exemplifies the tone, the playfulness, the spirit of Metal Gear far better than any fighting game character has a right to. Snake doesn't just reference his series or fulfill some archetype with a sexy coat of paint. He takes the ingenuity and wit that sets Metal Gear and himself apart and makes it the forefront of his character. He's not an opportunistic shadow waiting for his one killing blow. He's the man who makes the impossible possible through nothing more than wit, practicality, and skill.
And you're forgetting one more very basic thing. You don't have what it takes to kill me.
I know that's Naked Snake. Snake and Smash is like a composite. Just go with it, please. For generally being regarded as one of the forefathers of the stealth genre, Metal Gear sure does have an interesting take on the formula. Most stealth-focused titles see their hero creep in, looking for the silent kill before anyone realizes they're even there, taking one perfect shot after weaving through a web of defenses to get the job done as efficiently as possible. Metal Gear, though...
Snake, your mission is to infiltrate, not to fight. Don't let the enemy see you.
Stay alert. He'll be through here. I know it.
I saw a man hiding under a cardboard box.
I've seen someone use that box trick before.
What is this fairy disguise?
Don't forget this face.
Yeah, Snake does a bad job at actually sneaking around, huh? Hell, he gets caught in Smash trying to sneak around. Twice!
You didn't waste any time in getting spotted, did you?
That's a low blow, Colonel.
Yes, players are rewarded with cool rankings and titles and are encouraged to finish Metal Gear games being seen as little as possible. But in almost all of the Super Soldier's infiltration missions, it's well known that he's on the loose. Heck, the series' most iconic piece of music and symbol is from When You Get Caught. The likes of Agent 47 and Sly Cooper run unseen circles around Foxhound's finest when it comes to silent heists. What sets Snake apart, then, is his incredible skill and practicality. Snake is a master of baiting his foes into doing exactly what he wants, dispatching them with careful study and misdirection.
What was that noise?
When forced into combat, Snake can handle a couple soldiers on his own, but gets overwhelmed quickly by superior firepower, requiring him to make use of choke points, corners, and the terrain in order to outmaneuver foes far better equipped for a direct fight. And when push comes to shove and he's backed into a corner, Snake always finds a way to endure, to take his opponent's full frontal assault and somehow, despite everything, find a way to fight another day. Snake's dexterousness is only matched by his peerless tenacity, and beyond any weapon or technique, those skills make him the most fearsome foe to square up against.
Colonel, mission accomplished.
To get a more full idea of how all these pieces come together, let's examine one of Snake's classic foes from Metal Gear Solid 1, Vulcan Raven.
Must be a real threat in the muck duck eating contest.
Yes, you are right.
Raven is a hulking monstrosity of a man, ambushing Snake in the depths of a cold storage and hauling around an M61 Vulcan cannon typically used on fighter jets. You know, just to casually destroy anything in his path. No big deal. The tight corridors of the freezer give the Alaskan Titan easy, straight lines to launch hailstorms of bullets down, with Snake's arsenal either being too short range or too slow to beat out the Gatling gun's raw firepower head on. And outgunned, outranged, and overpowered, Snake has to improvise. Raven can mow him down at both a close and far range, so the snarky soldier has to carefully dance in and out of Raven's blind spots to goad him into traps and potshots.
Now,
Claymore mines can line the halls, C4 charges placed against containers, Stinger missiles shot from diagonals that would give Raven trouble. Even the very specialized Nikita can see play here and there as both a scouting tool and to blindside the giant. With his most straightforward approaches proving ineffective, Snake has to find ways to control the movement of his foe, bait them into his traps, land his big hits where possible, and endure until the big bad boss is finally taken down.
Hear me, Snake. My spirit will be watching you.
This can be seen all over Snake's boss battles. Blowing up a tank with well-timed grenades, outwitting the machinations of Psycho Mantis with fourth wall shattering cleverness, ducking in and out of Metal Gear Rex's range before targeting its weak points. Snake is an incredibly capable soldier, and can definitely hold his own in a fight. But he's outclassed when faced against specialization. It's not strength or smarts, but resourcefulness that gets Snake through his toughest encounters. And using his opponent's strategy against them, predicting their strengths and compensating, trapping them right where he wants them and finding out a way to endure their worst. That is exactly how he handles in Smash Brothers.
kept you waiting, huh?
Snake has a few straightforward tools in his Smash Brothers kit. His jab combo is game faithful, he's got an up tilt with an unfair hitbox, his down air's solid, his dash attack moves him forward really far, he's got a big spike forward air, but these are stray hits on a very stiff base. Snake moves like molasses compared to much of the Smash cast, with slow mobility on the ground and some of the lowest jumps and air acceleration in the entire series. Snake is a guest in this platform fighting world, and is utterly outclassed at traversal compared to all the Skrunkos and McJRPG guys flying around everywhere.
It's like one of my Japanese animes.
Playing Snake like an average Smash Brothers character is practically guaranteed to result in a loss. So, as always, Snake needs to improvise. All of Snake's explosives are built around one idea: control. Either directly taking away options from an opponent, or threatening to do so in the near future. His up smash launches a mortar that makes up for his awful jumping prowess, tossing out a shell to cover aerial assaults while keeping his feet firmly planted on the ground, a place he greatly prefers to be. His forward smash is stupidly slow, but causes a fairly sizable explosion at Snake's feet, covering a decent area around him that no one wants to be in the blast radius of, and giving him an excellent call-out tool that can be baited into. The remote Nikita missile makes up for Snake's weaknesses offstage. Sure, he can go out and chase you off stage, he does have the tools to do so, but why bother when he has another solution? He does leave his opponent in a great position to punish him if he messes it up, and it doesn't handle speedy recoveries nearly as well, but it's yet another tool to keep up the pressure while preventing Snake from having to duel his opponent in an aerial fight he's very unlikely to win. And even though I understand why it was taken away considering Snake's myriad of other tools, yeah, his brawl landmine was a really cool way of denying part of the stage to both fighters for a while. Nobody wants to deal with that. However, everyone knows that the stars of Snake's show are the grenade and C4.
It's showtime.
Snake's grenades, what can't they do? They can be thrown at 3 different trajectories, cooked, dropped, tossed as items, have hitboxes that interact and erupt. They're incredibly versatile tools made to snuff out an opponent's attacks and punish them for swinging wildly. Sure, you can toss them out like any other projectile to halt a frontal assault, but Snake's grenades serve a far more useful purpose: stage denial. Toss these babies onto platforms where you expect an opponent to roll or dodge to, in Snake's blind spots that a specific character might be able to exploit. Doesn't matter. You're taking away an approach option from an opponent hungry to lay the smackdown on solid. It's all about the matchup for where you want to toss them, and Snake's got an answer for every single one. Even better, these grenades come out as soon as possible, on frame 1, adding Escape Tool to the grenade's long list of titles.
No reason a weapon can't have more than one use. In fact, I'd say its versatility shows how well you designed it.
If a Snake player has a chance to pull one out while they're being comboed, they're gonna do it. This gives Snake a chance to escape from certain doom at the slightest opening, carefully slipping out of an opponent's grasp, but not without sacrificing a bit of himself to get the job done. Snake may be really good at running away, but they still caught you and it's still gonna hurt. C4 proves to be the logical extreme of the grenade's identity, a remote detonation bomb that Snake can leave on any surface and blow up anytime he wants within the next 26 2/3 seconds. This, obviously, takes away even more of the stage from an opponent, making them want to avoid the trap at all costs. If they see Snake lay it down, that is. The C4 does have a little red flashing light, and Snake does take a little bit of time to set the charge, but this can easily be missed in the thick of battle, and moreover, can be laid directly onto an opponent. Snake does have to be careful of the bomb shifting around and latching onto him, but C4 can become the most oppressive, terrifying tool in the game if you lose sight of it. All it takes is for the opponent to be off stage and hear the harrowing call of "there" to absolutely obliterate not just their stock, but their psyche.
Got you this time.
Nani?
And even on top of all of that, Snake can still use the C4 to get himself out of the most desperate of situations. Even a CPU-controlled Snake knowing he can blow himself up to recover infinitely from beneath the stage. As long as he didn't overthink and already set his bomb as a trap, of course. And all of these tools come together to truly, completely encapsulate the heart of Metal Gear. None of Snake's tools will let him win a straightforward encounter. He's got good, sometimes even great options to box with, but he's physically outclassed as a platformer by pretty much everyone else in the brawl.
I'm a loser.
Instead, all of Snake's options are designed around taking platforms out of a platform fighter, of conditioning his opponent and predicting their moves, and finding a way to constantly outthink them. There is no unga bunga mentality with Snake. Pretty much everyone else is a lot better at mindlessly mashing buttons or falling back to the same over-centralizing option than he is. A Snake player has to be hyper-aware of their opponent, what they might do, and what in Snake's toolkit can not so much counter it, as mitigate it and limit it. Snake doesn't have very many combos, doesn't have an easy kill confirm until he sleeper holds you at 160%, doesn't have a charge shot or a poltergust that'll just end things right then and there. Sneaky Dave has to create a wall, has to nickel and dime opponents, and has to earn his kill through either superior positioning or endurance every single time. Fights with Snake are cerebral games of cat and mouse, dancing in and out of ranges, Snake looking for the first opportunity to pounce, the first sign of weakness in his opponent's plan to go in for the kill. And that is Metal Gear. A constant back and forth of baits, narrow escapes, and battles of inches won by constant, smart execution. Fighting against a good Snake can be an absolutely infuriating experience. But if he lets up for even a second, if he leaves that straightforward opening, if he screws up, he's gonna get wrecked until he manages to toss out a grenade to cut his losses and try again. But if you're Snake, and you manage to get everything lined up right, you bait your opponent, land that C4, get away from a scenario as untouched as possible, there's a special kind of euphoria in being a Snake player. Because no matter the matchup, no matter how strong or oppressive your grenade lockdown is, no matter how few answers DK or Ganondorf have to you still had to get into your opponent's head to fight them on an equal level. You were the physical underdog, but you are the cerebral champion. And you probably ruined their entire day. And that's just great.
See you in hell. That takes care of the cremation.
There are some weaknesses to Snake's design. All three of his taunts are the box, and they can really add more to what the box can do. I lied, that's it, I love Snake otherwise. You could toss the SOCOM or FAMAS onto Snake. Project M features him with the modified M9 Trank pistol, which is pretty neat. But these ideas all give Snake a straightforward option that doesn't really suit who Snake is. The tagline of Metal Gear Solid is tactical espionage action, and every little bit of Snake in Smash embodies that philosophy. By studying his opponents, limiting their resources, making up for his weaknesses by denying a fair fight, and coming in for the kill with his own incredibly skillful strikes, Snake manages to bring the energy of his character and series into Smash almost flawlessly. Add in just how much he messes things up on larger stages and party environments, and his codex bringing out the banter and humor of the series,
Falcon Punch!
and he just... I really love Snake in the series, okay? There is so much thought put into his design that re-examines what a platform fighting game character can be, and gives the player a toolbox where every single object in there is a multi-tool to use just the right function at just the right moment. Because, yeah, he's not a good stealth character from a visual sense. He's a tactician who sneaks into your mind and takes down how you play the game from the inside. He twists every interaction until it can suit him, and through his creativity, wit, and sheer determination, makes the impossible possible. Snake is the shining example of how to design for Ingenuity.
This is Snake. I'm done here.